Okay, same question. Where did this start?
This started in my brother's basement in Bothell, Washington. I don't know, I was
Far
watching.
from Portland?
It's maybe a 3 or 4 hour drive, depending on how fast you're driving.
Okay.
So it's closer to three for me. Yeah, I think I was in his basement, and at that time, I was like, my film career was very much in its infancy, and I think I was just really exploring, like, what stories am I supposed to be telling? Like, as a
Right.
documentarian, I was just like,
Yeah.
there are a wealth of stories that I could focus my attention on, but I was trying to figure out which one felt like I was uniquely positioned to tell. And it felt like the stories about black people from Portland. I feel like most people don't even know that there are black people in Portland. There are. you know and so I think it was really important that like my experience was uplifted and represented. I think we all there's a lot of people that know about like Portlandia, right? But like that's not my experience.
Right.
And so I just don't want I wanted to create something that I think was fully representative of like the world that I come from.
I see. And I saw, does this say episode 2? Is this part of a series?
So it said episode 2, but ultimately we're kind of treating this one like the pilot at this point. I think
Oh,
the first
okay.
one felt more like a proof of concept, but this one felt more fully realized to me. It felt like I had really kind of stepped into like what the structure and the format and the theme and the vibes of this one is.
Okay.
And so I think as we continue to move forward in this series, like we just built out a full pitch series that is going to expand throughout the rest of the nation and explore the rest of the nation, kind of tracing the Great Migration in the same ways that we did in Portland.
I see.
It's going to be that kind of exploration, and so I think this one really kind of feels like it personifies and embodies the essence of the way that we plan on telling that story.
Well, that's really exciting. No, I think you have like a great diving off point from here, and the way that this opens doors. This is not an ending to any kind of story. This
Yeah.
opens doors to how that relates to different other parts of the country
Exactly.
and black historical roots. So how do you prepare for each individual that you meet to interview?
It's funny. I was telling something about this. I was telling somebody about this recently, and they found it highly weird. I was like, so I do like pre-interviews with everybody, and I record them. But then I basically just go to sleep to the pre-interviews, like constantly, like So before each interview, I just kind of like I do like a pre-edit, like a spine edit, and then I export that into an audio format, and then I just kind of go to sleep to it for like maybe a week, 2 weeks, and I kind of dream about it, and just let it kind of fill my mind.
Interesting.
So like a lot of people do like a paper edit, so I call it a sonic edit. And so I
Okay.
just kind of like lay down with it, and like by the end of the week, I feel like I know them better than they know themselves.
Interesting. And does that allow for, I mean, it sounds like you've really transcribed it into inside your brain before you've got them. When you're with them in the moment, it feels like you're on your feet and it's not scripted and hard. Are you coming up with stuff on the spot that you're reacting to?
There's stuff on the spot for sure. Like I think that there has to be those natural exchanges that feel like they're in the moment, but they're also like I don't know. With documentary, it's funny because they say if you come out making the documentary that you expected, then you weren't listening. And so I think that there's an aspect of it where it's like, all right, I have like this idea as the director. I have an idea of like what the story is, but I also have to lean into like empathy and just listening to what the story might actually be that I don't understand. So I think it's just like balancing those two hot and colds, honestly.
Cool.
Yeah.
And last question from me. I want to know, we learned as an audience a lot from this. I'm sure you in your research learned a lot from this. Facts, dates, histories, people.
Yeah.
What did you learn as a filmmaker from this project specifically?
Dude, I learned so much as a filmmaker. I don't know, like me as a filmmaker, me as a person, as a human, as a spirit, like they're all like the same at this point. It feels like as I was filming this, like I learned things about myself as a human being, as like a black member of like Portland, like my history. I learned that like one of the elders that I was filming like earlier on that didn't make it into this was like I'm related to that person who was like a legend in the town. Or, like there were just so many aspects of this story that were like interwoven with my own identity that I didn't fully understand until I decided to step in and tell that story. So there's a level of ownership of story and place and belonging that I think that this really affords me, and I feel like super blessed to like have gotten myself into a position where I can like leverage my capabilities as a filmmaker to like tell stories that matter not only to myself but that can resonate with y'all.
Yeah.
You know?
Beautiful. Very well said. Any questions from the audience? Question right over here.
Yeah, I was going to ask what your production schedule and team size was, because for a doc, you really you shot the hell out of this. This was really well shot.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So what's dope about that is like, you know, I find Portland's film community to be small but mighty. It's like, you know, a lot of the people that I film with, like they're my friends. They're people that I love and I care about. Like since I've been a filmmaker, like I've grown with these people. And so like, I don't know, I think on any particular set there weren't more than like, I mean, we had a lot of production. I mean, on like the biggest shoot, maybe we had eight to 10 people. Most of them were like production assistants.
Single or two cam?
We had two to three cams operating between particular scenes. Like the Portland Art Museum was a bitch to shoot, so we needed as many hands on deck for that one. But yeah, I mean, I think that what's dope about this project is it literally represents what I'm trying to create, right? It's like it is about community. It is about wholeness, belonging, all these things, and it literally embodied that in the cast, in the crew. Like every aspect of it is bore from it, you know. So like that's what's so dope about it. Like we talk about it's a crew full of black and brown people that were storming through a predominantly white neighborhood. There are people like peeking out of their windows, like looking at us like we at Amazon, and I'm like, hey, we might be. Don't worry about it. And so it's just like it's dope that we were able to create something that felt bigger than it actually was. You know, that's big to me though.
Yep. One more question.
What's next for you as a filmmaker?
Oh, I love that question. I'm already working on my next doc. I'm super excited about it. This doc, I just finished my pitch deck for it. One of my producers is actually right here with me, Elizabeth Stock, who actually helped me create that pitch deck, along with Donovan, Scribes, and Zoe Piliafas. So we just created an entire pitch deck that's going to, like I said earlier, take me kind of across the nation, kind of tracing the Great Migration and exploring stories of Black cultural and creative history throughout like the country's history. And so like I guess I'm excited about the fact that it's not just an exploration of the nation, it's like an exploration of myself and like where I fit into the whole bigger picture. I'm also working on another documentary, a side doc about these two first-generation Nigerian American boys who are building their own video game from the ground up. It's going to be super dope. I'm very excited about it. I think it feels like a story that hasn't been told yet, or at least not in the ways that I would have liked them to be told.
Great. Can we get a round of applause, Devin Boss?